Welcome back, everybody. I'm really excited to bring back the liquids review series in 2021. It's been a little over a year since my last liquids review. I really love those liquids, but you know what? It's time to get back into it. But there is going to be a change in my liquids review series. If you've been around for a while, you know I've developed a sensitivity to acetone, so it does not play well with my skin when I'm soaking off my dip powder. To prevent having to soak off my dip powder when I'm doing these liquids reviews series, what I'm going to be doing is dipping directly over a thin layer of builder gel. So when I'm ready to remove this dip powder, all I have to do is take my drill and file down to the clear layer of builder gel, not my natural nail, so there's no damage to my natural nail. I hope that's okay with you guys. I understand that's not going to be okay with everybody, but this is what's best for me in order for me to continue doing this series. So without further ado, today's liquid series is Mani Boss. Yes, I'm so excited to be doing Mani Boss. I love their peel base. If you haven't already tried it, I recommend it, but today's video is not about the peel base. It is about the dip liquids. So I am really excited, and I want to thank Ashley over at Rookie Nail Dipper for sending these over to me because you made this review possible. Thank you so much. Anyways, without further ado, let's get started. Liquids review. So as you guys already know, in my liquids review, I always use the same dip powder, which is Rebel Nails Clock. I have like 5 jars of this. I'm not even kidding. So I'm gonna go ahead, open this, and get to the review part. So right off the bat, the packaging already has me insanely impressed because I'm a stickler about packaging. If they're super lightweight bottles, I tend to not like them. So I do like these heavy duty weighted liquid bottles, and her packaging is really cute. It is consistent with her branding with like the black background and her logo. I love how simple it is, but we're not here to compare it. I also like that it has the ingredients on the back, so if anybody is curious about what the ingredients and the liquids are, she does provide them on there. So let's try to get this open. Oh my god. There we go. First time's the charm. I know other brands whose brand new liquids are like that too. It's not so easy to open. So the handle is like of a matte finish. The bottle is of a glossy finish. So just to note, it's a very strong handle. I really like that. And we're gonna go ahead and open it and look at the rim. Okay, so this is also normal. So if you don't know, most dip bottle brushes are not only interchangeable but replaceable. So this is common because they literally twist onto the screws, the treads right there on the cap. So this is normal. What you have to do is twist it back on, untwist, and there you go. So your brush is finally attached to the handle. So that's normal, don't think it's broken. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the brush out. See, a little bit of liquid did pool there, probably because of the way I held it. So this one doesn't seem to have like the insert, the wiper insert, where when you pull it out, it like the brush automatically wipes on the wiper insert on the way out. It doesn't have that one. So when you are using these, you are gonna have to be diligent about wiping on the inside like that. Just a thought. So let me go to the activator and the top coat as well. Yeah, they're all designed the same. The activator doesn't have a strong smell. I couldn't even smell the base coat. And let's see how the top coat works. All right, same situation. Dislocate it, twist it back on, untwist, and there you have your liquid, your brush. All right. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is my liquids review as I always do it. I'm gonna dip in Kalaka. I'm gonna use my usual dip technique, and I'm just gonna let you guys know if I feel like it's runny, if it's thick, if it's goopy, like the whole process. So it is gonna be a little sped up and everything, and I'm only doing one hand on camera. This one's gonna be done right after. Off camera, you don't need to see it twice. But basically you're gonna get my first full impressions on these liquids. So it's gonna be sped up. This part is gonna be voiced over. So my first impressions are that I really, really like the brush. The brush is nice and thin. I don't have super wide nails or nail beds, and getting towards the cuticle area means that I do need my brush to be thin to get in those areas, those corners of the nail. So that is very important to me. This liquid is very, very thin. So let's see. I'm wearing peach builder gel under this nail, so I wonder if that's going to affect the final color. We'll find out. Testing all the things on this one. Alright, moving on to the next finger, right here, middle finger. I wipe my brush, so I keep it over here on the side so you can't really see it, but when I'm pulling it out, I'm literally just wiping on the inside right here at the top. So that's what I'm doing to make sure I don't have an excess bulk of liquid. I placed it in the middle, go down towards the free edge area, and then I fan out towards the top. So I'm not flooding my cuticles or anything. And this liquid is nice and thin. Nice and thin. Wow, these are very good. Oh my gosh, I really like this so far. I hope it works this well on my second and third dip across the board. I think I'm gonna do 3 full dips of this. Like it's so much that I don't even have to do cuticle cleanup with my thingy that I use here. Like, it's so thin. That is like so insanely thin. Yeah, I'm really impressed. Let me zoom out a little here. Really impressed, guys. Mrs. Manny Boss. So far, I'm feeling it. I'm really feeling it. And for me, having thinner liquids is very important too, because I usually do dip over builder gel. So the thicker my liquid is, the thicker my dip layer is. And if I want to do 2, 3, sometimes 4 layers, I need really thin liquids, because the thicker ones, it's just like you're doing 4 layers and you have a mountain on your nails, and that's not okay. So, but if you don't use builder gel as your base or clear dip, then you don't have to worry about thicker liquids too much. Yeah, literally like no cuticle cleanup. That is so insane. These are so thin, and the brush is just a dream. What? I love this brush. I'm obsessed. Oh my gosh, these are just so good. I'm like, can I just leave that on my nail? I'm like obsessed with the way it looks just on my nail. Okay, dip before it dries, Carol. Dip before it dries. And you see I just like sat there for 3 or 4 seconds and then dipped in the jar, and there's no like splotchy spots on my nail. So it's funny, I said I was gonna just like go through this and voice over, but I don't even know if I'm gonna do that. I'm probably gonna do this real time. Okay, so far so good. Obviously this is my first dip with this color on my nails and everything, but the coverage is really nice. I will say that I'm loving that. I am intrigued though, because I know this isn't a builder gel video, intrigued to see how dipping over a colored builder gel instead of a clear builder gel affects the color of a dip powder, because I've never done that before. So I'm dusting everything off. Nothing, so like I went ahead and did all 5 fingers, and you can see that nothing is moving. Get a little something right there. I don't know what it is. But my dip powder isn't moving, so it dried at a reasonable rate. Can I take that off? Yeah, I can. It's like a little lint piece from God knows what. But my dip powder isn't like flying off. So I think that the dry time is pretty good so far between my first layer going in to do my second layer, because if yours dries extremely slow, you can find that when you go to do your second layer and you go to brush it off, it like moves the dip because the like base bond isn't completely dry and finished soaking. and it sucks. Like, I've had some liquids that are just too soft. That is totally a thing. Not all liquids are created equal, which is why this series even exists. No odor, guys. No odor is coming out of this base bomb bottle. I cannot smell it at all. I'm not experiencing any flooding at all. Any. Like, nothing is pooling, nothing is moving. There is no odor at whatsoever. I'm pretty sure if I like put the bottle up to my nose, I'd probably be like, ugh, because that's what every single chemical is gonna make your eyes water. There's a harsh chemical in it. But yeah, oh my gosh. Literally, I don't even have to do cuticle cleanup. Like, I'm just doing this out of habit, but nothing's getting around my cuticles. Like, what the hell? Yeah, I think the third round I'm gonna shut up and speed through it. Not these 2 rounds. And I'm not using peel base under this, so I definitely am going to be stuck with this mani until 7 days hit, so next Monday. I'm recording this on a Monday. Literally only going around the cuticle out of habit. I should double dip that one because it's a little wet. All right, so time to dust everything off. I do think the peach boulder gel affects the overall color. This is 2 dips, and I do notice the peach is showing through, and that does annoy me. Maybe it's only on light colors, like nudes, maybe. We'll see. We'll see on the 3rd dip. Yeah, I'm like literally brushing off, and nothing is moving. So it dries pretty darn well. I'm impressed with the dry time of the base bomb prior to activator. That's impressive. Okay, so this part I'm going to speed through it, but don't worry, I'll still give my thoughts and opinion in a voiceover if necessary, but I'm pretty confident this is going to go like the first and second round. Okay, so this is 3 completed dips right here. You can see like there needs definitely some shaping to be involved, which, speaking of shaping, I actually do have a Mani Boss file here. She has some in her shop, so I'm going to be using this for shaping today, but the first thing I'm going to do is actually prime my file. So when I do this, I'm just scoring the sides right here so that I don't hurt myself when I'm filing, because unfortunately when you file, it's like inevitable to get this on your skin, so that's fine. So I just softened up the edges. That's the whole point of that. Okay, so time to brush off. Alright, so on to the activator portion. I'm gonna see if I can smell anything. And like my face is like just below my camera, so right here is where my face is basically, so I can't smell anything as of yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and activate. Yeah, the scent is very, very subtle. I just put the brush next to my nose. Very subtle scent. But alas. Okay. Like the activator, no complaints, pretty simple. Like most activators are great. In some instances I've had though, in other brands, the liquid wasn't hardening the dip. That does not happen, like, we'll see if that happens here. So I'm gonna give it a couple minutes for this to do its magic of hardening, and then we're gonna see if it actually hardens. Okay, a couple minutes have passed. These are definitely feeling hardened, so it's time to file. I like to file my free edge first. Get that nice and flat. I wouldn't say it's like self-leveling, like this one didn't really look that cute, and I think it's because of the builder gel I had on there, but like you can see, application plays a huge part in what your dip is going to look like. So that one, it's like nice, thin, small apex. That one's nice too. I do definitely have to do some filing here because it is a little bumpy around this area. This one is still like a nice from cuticle to free edge, but it's a little bumpy on this side. And then this one as well is nice. So I think this only looks this way because of my builder gel application, because this one was a little thicker in my opinion. So I wouldn't fault it to the brand Dip Liquids because of the layer of base I had on underneath. Isn't she lovely? Hell yeah, she is. Maybe I should do a little bit of filing around the cuticle area of this one. It is a little wonky. And it's totally my fault because of the builder gel. The whole application of the builder gel. Like y'all, I was able to get close to my cuticle area on every single dip, not only because of my application, like how I usually apply my dip, but because the brush allowed for it and the liquids didn't pool. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to reactivate for a second time. Okay, so enough time has passed. Time to do my rubbing alcohol magic. The point of this is to remove any excess activator before I go in with my top coat. Give that about 30 seconds for the rubbing alcohol to evaporate, and then we can move on into dip top coat. So going in, and it's all the same brushes on every single bottle. The bottles are identical, the brushes are identical. Like, I'm gonna do the whole brush off right there on the side. I don't want to ruin my brushes. And of course they're doing yard work across the street, so you can probably hear that as I do this video voice talking thingamabob, because I'm not voicing over today. Alright, rotate, and now it's starting to do its like little wrinklingness. That's usually when I go in for a second top coat, is when the gloss is starting to wrinkle. And that's usually when I go in for my second, more precise layer. Alright, so hopefully that isn't too long that it has to wait for it to dry. I hope. Hopefully it doesn't dry streaky or anything, because I've totally done that before. Alright, so here's the moment of truth. I usually go, when I do like the whole touching thing, I usually go from here and I work my way down to the very last one, because it's been about the amount of time that it took. Man, my skin is so dry. Oh, that dried so easily. Gosh, this feels so good. Oh god, I feel like it hasn't even been 2 minutes. And it's completely properly dry. Yep. Wow, that's amazing. And going in with my brand new Candi skincare, Sweet Temptation. Wow. I need really like noise canceling windows or something. These are so good. Like, I do not have a complaint at all with the application. Like, this made me so happy. Alright, welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed watching that video. I hope that it was helpful, informative. If there's anything that you would like me to change about my liquids review, or you feel like something is missing, please let me know. But the acetone whole thing, not doing it over builder gel, that's my boundary line. I can't change that one. I'm doing what's best for my skin. Okay, so for my final thoughts, I usually always have a notebook handy where I keep all of my notes for my liquid, whichever series I'm doing that video. So my thoughts on Mani Boss. So for the brushes, I think the brush handle is great. I like that it's not glossy, it's easier to grip, but also I love the size of the brushes. So it's not too thin, it's not too thick. You guys have probably already watched the video, but they're like a good size for me, and they fan out really easily to my nail beds. I think I have like, I don't have narrow nail beds, but I don't have like extremely wide ones either, in my opinion. So I think they fanned out nicely. As for the bottles, I think these are amazing quality bottles, very high quality. So whatever she is paying to get these manufactured, I think she like did a great job with this bottle style. The only thing I do note, and I said it before, is there's no wiper insert. So if that's a deal breaker for you, that's something to keep note of. However, it is not a deal breaker for me because these liquids are so thin. I don't find it necessary to have a wiper insert because it's not like there's a lot of liquid coming off the brush in the first place. As for the base bond, I'm going to speak for all the liquids. So the base bond, the activator, and the top coat, there is no odor for me. Mind you, I'm not very sensitive to dip liquids. I don't really react to them, but I can usually tell like a faint odor in liquids. And for example, I've tried other brands where it's like so pungent that you're like, ooh, that's really hard to handle. These were like amazing. So I didn't smell a single thing even with the activator. So I was very impressed with the no odor of the liquids. Like, you know how sometimes your eyes will water? That didn't happen. Okay, so as for the application of the base, it was thin. I was so impressed with the thinness, but you know there's those thins that usually pull. This one didn't. This one didn't flood my cuticles. And speaking of cuticles, it was so easy to do cuticle cleanup. Like, I basically didn't have to do it. I only did it because it was practically muscle memory and out of habit. For buffing, I usually grade my scale of 1 to 3, easy, medium, or hard, because sometimes I've done these liquid series for a while now, and sometimes the buffing isn't the easiest. However, it was so easy to buff out. These liquids being thin and also knowing that they're not like super runny, I think the activator to the dip base combo is perfect too. It's not gummy. I just think the buffing was just such a breeze. Nothing was gummy and falling off. Nothing. I don't know. It's just easy. I loved it. And the top coat, the application of the top coat was super easy and it dried perfectly. There were no matte spots. I was very impressed with the dry time. It wasn't too long. I think I waited about like 1 or 2 minutes before I went ahead after my activator. And yeah, I'm really impressed with it. And as for wear, if you've watched my Instagram stories, you know that my builder gel, not the dip, the builder gel lifted on this nail specifically, so I had to remove that. But all of my other nails are going so strong, and it's like literally so smooth. Like what? I don't know. I'm just really impressed with these liquids. I give them an A+. If I had to grade them, they're amazing. And I'm just like, whoa. These are amazing liquids. So if you like everything that I mentioned on things that I said, like thin, bottle style, wiper insert, all those things, easy buffing, I recommend buying these. But yeah, that is the end of my video. I hope you guys like this liquid series, and I hope to continue it. I am going to be reviewing other brands next, so please let me know what other brands you're looking forward for me to do in my liquid series. Thank you. Bye.
Drunk and the music's loud.